Yo guys, welcome back. This is something different. I don't really do this normally, but I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Violet. And I completed the Dex recently. Very late compared to a lot of people that played the game, closer to release date. So I assume that not many people have run into this bug that I'm about to talk about. Um, And unfortunately, I didn't record my game or take pictures of it at any point when this happened to me, so you're just gonna have to take my word. And even then, I don't think many people are gonna have this issue, but I wanted to make a video in case someone does because whenever I Googled, I didn't really see a solution to the problem that I got. And I don't think it'll get patched for a while unless they do some sort of Pokemon Home integration. But anyways, I'll just explain my side of the story. So pretty much, I was in the process of completing my decks, and rather than catching a lot of the Pokemon, I just did a lot of touch trades with my friends or people online. And touch trading is when you trade for that Pokemon and then trade it back. And so it's just a touch, but that touch allows you, that touch of that period of time of you having that Pokemon allows you to register it in the Dex, which is all you need when you're trying to complete the Dex. You don't need to keep it or anything. You won't lose that page, and that page's completion. So I did that with a lot of Pokemon. And I thought I did that for Zoroark as well, because when I finished my decks, or so I thought, I was stuck at 399, and I didn't know what was happening. I Googled and I searched. None of the entries were grayed out, as in I've encountered them, but I haven't caught them, or I haven't even seen them at all, type of thing. I counted through the numbers like 10 times. Not a single number was missing. I know some people posted that they were stuck at 399 and then they forgot like a starter or something really dumb. They just didn't see it. But I saw all the numbers, so I thought, what is happening? And for hours and hours, I was trying to figure out what the hell was wrong. I counted over and over again. I Googled, like, hey, why is my deck stuck at 399? Some people were talking about the starters. Some people were talking about, like, oh, if you hard reset the game, it should fix. I did everything and it didn't work. And I saw one person post on a forums page randomly online about how they just evolved a Zoro randomly and then it worked without mentioning anything about why Zoroark was the issue. So I didn't really take it to heart, but the way I figured it out was I pressed on Sprigatito and then I scrolled through each page one by one because each page has the Pokedex number at the top left. So I just looked at the numbers just to make sure that I wasn't miscounting. And during that process, I saw the numbers skip from 228 to 230. So if I pull up the Pokedex right now, um, right here, if I pull up the Pokedex, so 228, that is Zorua. So what was happening in my decks was when I was scrolling through the pages one by one, Zorua, it would go to Zorua and then skip Zoroark and go to Sneasel. So I knew that Zoroark at that point was the issue. Like I didn't have it. But I didn't know why this was happening because when you go back to the regular view of just all the books of the dex entries, Zoroark was there and it looked just like the other books. It looked like it was completed, it looked like it was fine. And I just assumed it was some sort of illusion bug at first, like of Zoroark and Zoroark's ability is illusion, which allows them to disguise other Pokemon. I was thinking it was something like that. So I all I did was I went to go catch another Zorua in the wild, and then I evolved it into Zoroark and it fixed it. And then I went to sleep thinking that was it. But then I woke up this morning and realized that the reason why this glitch happened in the first place was because of this thing. Basically, so this is another reason why I said in the beginning that not many people are probably going to encounter this bug because they've probably already finished the decks by now. It's because I got this Hisuian Zoroark first, and Hisuian Zoroark is not in the game. Aside from getting it in this DLC pre-order bonus, it's not like physically findable in the game. And because of that, I got the Zoroark first, the Hisuian Zoroark, and it filled out the Dex page as if I got a regular Zoroark. So, on face value, when you look at the Dex book by book, it looked like I got a Zoroark. But when you flip through the pages, the Zoroark page was blank. So the game just skipped the page entirely and went from Zorua to Sneasel, even though from the books it showed that I had a Zoroark. So it was a very weird thing because I didn't even realize that this was the problem. I just thought it was an illusion bug until this morning when I was thinking about it, and I realized that this Hisuian Zoroark is the reason why. It's because of the lack of Pokemon Home capabilities, which allow Pokemon from other generations to be added in and expanding the decks. Because that has not happened as of March 30th when I'm filming this, I assumed that the game just thought it was a flagged mon or it just didn't count towards the decks, but it identified it as Zoroark, the regular Zoroark, which is actually findable in this game, or actually obtainable from the wild in this game, therefore glitching my decks and tricking it into thinking that I've already owned a Zoroark at some point. But when you go look for that specific data for Zoroark, it isn't there. Um, it's just a quick fix. What I did was I went to go find another Zorua. I traded the Zorua that I touch traded, sadly, so I had to go find another one in the wild. I found one after like 5 minutes. It wasn't too long. I caught it and then I evolved it into a regular Zoroark, and that fixed it. It didn't do the cutscene of it registering it into the Pokedex or whatever. It just assumed that I've already done that. But it provided the entry and the proper information that a Zoroark in this game is supposed to have compared to the Hisuian Zoroark, which has none of that information. So once that happened, my dex hit 400. So basically, TLDR, Hisuian Zoroark tricks the game into thinking that it's a regular Zoroark and that it fills out your Pokedex at face value. When in reality, if you hadn't caught a regular Zoroark until then, it won't count it towards the Pokedex. So you need to go get a regular Zoroark if you had already gotten the Hisuian Zoroark and this page has already been at face value shown up as completed on your decks. You can find them. I don't remember off the top of my head because the map is very complicated, but just Google where to find Zorua, and you can go catch one real quick and then evolve it into Zoroark. I believe level 30 is when it evolves. So pretty simple stuff from there. I've never encountered a bug like this before, and the reason why I made this video is because I don't think many people have either. When I Googled about it, I didn't really see anything about it, except for like one person talking about Zorua and Zoroark. But even then, in that post, they didn't really go into depth as to why this was an issue. Hence why I thought at first it was an illusion bug of their ability. But in reality, it was this Hisuian Zoroark which ruined my decks and kept me up for 2 hours at midnight trying to figure out what was wrong with my decks. But anyways, hope this helps, and hope you guys are able to complete your decks with no other issues or no issues at all.